Audio's not coming.
Yeah, I'm not hearing any audio.
Let's go into Charlie.
We're going to go to Charlie?
Yeah.
Me go?
Yeah.
Charlie?
Yeah, I'm here.
Charlie?
Yeah. I'm just not hearing the audio from the two videos. I'm hearing everybody else okay, but just not the video you're trying to show them. Now I do.
Okay. I guess we're going to skip it. Charlie, can you hear it?
My name is Ruth.
Yeah, I can hear it.
You must be pretty excited to talk directly with astronauts on the International Space Station today. Hi, my name is Ruth.
And my name is Chris.
You must be pretty excited to talk directly with astronauts on the International Space Station today. While we're waiting for the space station to come over your portion of the sky, let's talk a little bit about how it's going to happen. Of course, Mission Control is in contact with astronauts all the time, using a big radio with lots of fancy equipment.
However, we're going to be using something very different today. We are going to use ham or amateur radio to talk directly to the International Space Station.
When most people hear the word radio, they think of a music radio station. But it's so much more than that. Radio actually refers to the unseen energy that transmits all sorts of signals using electromagnetic waves. At first, people learned how to send signals like Morse code. And then they discovered that you can send so much more, like data, computer signals, and even TV.
Maybe you don't realize it, but you use radio every day. Maybe you watched the TV this morning, or you texted your friends, or maybe even you check social media like Twitter or Instagram.
Let's travel back to space for a minute. Since the beginning of the space age, humans have sent many spacecraft out into the universe. These range from the Hubble Space Telescope orbiting the Earth daily, and the Curiosity rover exploring Mars. We've even sent a long-distance messenger, the Voyager 1, who has traveled outside of our solar system.
Whether it's capturing a great picture of a far-off galaxy or conducting experiments on the space station, radio has to do with all of these. And today, you're going to be using ham radio. Now you might be wondering, what exactly is ham radio?
Amateur or ham radio is a service and a hobby where operators can talk with people around their neighborhoods, their cities, their country, and even around the world. Amateur radio operators require a radio license from the government. They're not that hard to get. I have one. My call sign is KM4LAO.
And mine is KD8YVJ. Our call signs are a way of identifying who we are to other operators. This lets everyone know that we have the proper license to using the radios.
As amateur radio operators, or hams as we are often called, we can talk with others about basically whatever we want, often science or some new radio gadget that we are interested in.
Let's focus back to the space station and your contact today. Many of the astronauts and cosmonauts aboard the space station are licensed ham radio operators. That's why your operators today can contact them. The people here, as well as the astronauts, are licensed to talk to each other, and you are allowed to talk over to their radio.
For our conversation today, we'll need an amateur radio station on the ground, either in this location or somewhere else around the world. We'll also need a radio in the space station.
NA1SS, NA1SS.
You can hear the calls coming. This is November Alpha 1 Sierra Sierra, the International Space Station, over.
On the space station, the radio transceiver is connected to an amateur radio antenna mounted on the outside. One of these antennas will be used today during our contact.
For our side of the contact, we need a good-sized antenna, a signal amplifier, something to make our signal stronger, and a rotator for turning our antenna. We have to keep our antenna pointed right at the International Space Station. And remember, it's moving across the sky and fast.
To aim the antenna properly, we need to track the path of the space station exactly. NASA uses complex systems to track the path of the space station and other orbiting objects.
The satellite tracking program we are using works out a complicated set of mathematics to provide the orbital location of the space station moment by moment as it moves through space. This information is sent into the computer that controls the antenna rotator, which moves the antenna to follow the space station. Maybe some of you have seen or worked with robotics. That's pretty cool stuff. And just like you can program a robot where to go, what to do, and how to get there, you can also program a computer to tell an antenna how to track the space station across the sky.
You know, it took a lot of planning to get this contact. Several weeks ago, the ARISS operations team had to figure out when the space station's orbit would pass over this location. Then, they had to talk with the planners at NASA's Johnson Space Center. The crew's time is pretty full, so they were able to find a time that could work for the crew members' schedules. Once they found times that would work both in space and here on the ground, the host organized this contact. And in just a few minutes, you'll be hearing and talking to the astronauts.
Well, it's almost time for your contact. It will be exciting, so good luck with it.
NA1SS, this is N2SJ, over.
NA2SJ from NA1SS for scheduled contact.
Hi everyone, I'm Tim Peake and welcome aboard the International Space Station, where we're orbiting Earth 16 times every day. One of the most rewarding activities that some astronauts undertake on orbit is to talk to schools using the space station's ham radio. Now these are events that are planned by ARISS, which is a worldwide group of amateur radio volunteers who are dedicated to introducing young people and students to science, technology, engineering and mathematics. Now this is the equipment here in the Columbus laboratory, which consists of a handheld radio, a headset, and we also have a ham video unit. Now as the International Space Station orbits above your location, a radio link is established between the ISS and your school. Now because we're travelling at nearly 18,000 miles per hour, which is an incredible 25 times the speed of sound, we usually get about 9 or 10 minutes of good radio contact before losing the signal. So about 5 minutes before the scheduled start time of the contact, I come into the Columbus laboratory and configure the radio so that I'm on the correct channel. And sometimes I'll set up the ham video too. Just before the predicted time, I'll begin to start calling the school using the standard amateur radio calling techniques. For example, if the call sign of
amateur radio volunteers and the crew on the ISS, we hope to establish ham radio contact with the International Space Station as it flies more than 200 miles above the Earth over Italy. This is all accomplished with ARISS, amateur radio on the International Space Station. The contact will be, let's see, the ISS is currently flying over Europe, whizzing around 17,500 miles an hour. The contact will be performed using the amateur radio Telebridge network, a worldwide network of amateur radio ground stations that enable students to contact the ISS. ARISS is a consortium of ham radio volunteers from 15 nations that develop and operate the amateur radio station on the International Space Station. ARISS is run almost entirely by volunteers from various national amateur radio organizations and the worldwide AMSAT Radio Amateur Satellite Corporations. Here in the U.S., the American Radio Relay League, ARRL, and AMSAT North America are involved. Since ARISS is international in scope, the team coordinates locally with the respective space agencies. CSA, that's the Canadian Space Agency, ESA, European Space Agency, JAXA, Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, NASA, National Aeronautics and Space Administration, and Roscosmos, Russian Federal Space Agency. The amateur radio ground station that will establish contact with the ISS is IK1SLD in Casale, Monferrato, Italy, operated by Claudio Ariati, IK1SLD. Thanks for helping out, Claudio. And you are seeing his antennas on the screen also. So we are about 5 minutes or so from contact. Our contact for today is with Sultan Al Neyadi, KA5 VTV. He will be operating OR4 ISS on board the ISS. Sultan Al Neyadi, KA5 VTV, will be talking with scouts at Camp William B. Snyder in Haymarket, Virginia, USA. The amateur radio contact coordinator for the camp is Mike Elmy, WA8AHZ. And yours truly is the ARISS mentor. We have asked Dr. Nick Malshevsky, Camp Snyder Scouts BSA Program Director, to briefly tell us about the Camp Snyder and the students taking part today. Dr. Nick?
Thank you, Charlie. Camp William B. Snyder encompasses 350 acres in Prince William County, Virginia, and is a premier camping location with the National Capital Area Council of the Boy Scouts of America. The summer is teeming with week-long programs, and the rest of the year, the camp is home to training programs and activities. We have a pool, a waterfront, shooting sports, handicrafts, a nature trail, a mobile climbing tower, a rocketry field, a wood shop, and a general purpose STEM lab. This week is our specialty week for Scouts BSA. 200 scouts are on site this week earning merit badges. Many of them are STEM related. Some scouts launched and recovered model rockets as part of the Space Exploration Merit Badge. Some scouts read aeronautical charts and operated drones as part of the Aviation Merit Badge. Scouts used Geiger counters to monitor radiation as part of the Nuclear Science Merit Badge. Scouts practiced using call signs and worked with dipole antennas as part of the Radio Merit Badge. Our scouts are looking forward to this experiment with the International Space Station. Thank you.
Well, thanks, Dr. Nick. Sounds like they're doing a lot of interesting things there, by the way. Geiger counters, geez, I don't know about that one. It sounds kind of radioactive there. So, but we've got T-minus 5 minutes and counting. And Claudio, let's go ahead and before the contact starts here, go ahead and tell us about IK1SLD ham radio station, and make sure you tell us who all is helping you out today.
Okay, Charlie, thank you for your presentation. Briefly, our Telebridge station, as you said, is located in Casale Monferrato Airport in northwest of Italy, 100 kilometers from Turin and Milan. And with me today as operators, there are Mikol, India Uniform 2 Lima X-ray radio, and Fabio, India Kilo 1 Yankee Echo Zulu, and Fabio, India Whiskey 1 Bravo November Delta, members of our team Telebridge. When T-minus 30 seconds, I'll go to call Sultan Al Neyadi aboard the ISS, today operating with call sign Oscar Romeo 4 India Sierra Sierra. And as soon as signal will be loud and clear, I will invite the scout to start with first question. And for everyone, don't forget to say over, because this is a very important thing to coordinate the conversation between us and the astronaut. So now I see the ISS approaching to Europe, in this moment on Spain, with the footprint. So we have 3 minutes and 23 seconds to the OS. So microphone back to you, Charlie.
Thanks, Claudio. Yeah, the ISS is coming in fast, and so the one thing I do want to make sure everybody understands that what we are doing today is considered an experiment, and so we can never tell the results, positive or negative, until the experiment is over. And students, don't forget to say the word over. So there's a beautiful shot of the antennas at Claudio's location. And you'll be seeing those things move along the way. And we are about, let's see.
If you see on the right, on the three on the right, you can see now a helicopter. In a few seconds is okay.
Very good. Well, there's your crew there at the IK1SLD. Say hi, everybody. Or wave your hands or something. So.
Wait, say it again.
Okay, we're seeing everybody at the IK1SLD world. So, Tricia, you getting all your people lined up? We've got minute 50 seconds.
We are ready. I don't know if
All right.
you'll see behind me, so I won't mess with it.
Yeah, for some reason, my OBS software, when we switched to the YouTube, it took out, I get the audio, but not the video part. Very weird. But anyway, that I'm going to switch it just to me on my end here. We got 90 seconds. In about 30 seconds, I'm handing it off to Claudio, and it's all his.
Okay, 1 minute and 10 seconds.
$60 seconds, and good luck, everyone. Tricia, go ahead and make sure your microphone is open. So this is going to go fast.
We're here.
Still have a little bit of a feedback problem, but we'll run with it, I guess. Or you can lower your microphones down a little bit. I mean, the speakers down a little bit.
Okay, 20 seconds to OS. Okay, acquisition signal, icon now. Oscar Romeo 4 India Sierra Sierra, this is India Kilo 1 Sierra Lima Delta, Telebridge ground station, calling for a scheduled ARISS contact. Do you copy Sultan Al Neyadi? Over.
India Kilo 1 Sierra Lima Delta, this is Oscar Romeo 41 Sierra India Sierra Sierra, have you loud and clear?
Okay, Oscar Romeo 4 India Sierra Sierra, India Kilo 1 Sierra Lima Delta. Good evening from Italy. Your signal is loud and clear. If you are ready, I'm going to pass the microphone to the first scout. Over.
Thank you for this opportunity. I'm ready for the questions. Over.
Okay, go ahead, Colleen.
Hi, my name is David. My question is, have the skill sets desired by the astronaut selection committee changed over time? Over.
Thank you so much, David. So, so 60 years ago, when we had no idea what space is, we have chosen the best of the best, and we selected test pilots that can handle problems in the spacecraft, and they can manually pilot the aircraft. So yes, indeed. And then by the development of vehicles, it started to be more automated. The requirements changed. So the agency selected scientists that can run science, especially when we went to the moon. And nowadays we focus on candidates with STEM education, that is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So yes, indeed, the requirements have changed. Over.
Hi, my name is Olivia, and my question is, did you have to learn all of the languages spoken by the individual crew members on the ISS? Over.
Very interesting question, Olivia. Thank you so much. So the main language spoken here on the International Space Station is English and Russian. So all the astronauts need to learn those two languages. And as like somebody from the United Arab Emirates, I was trying to teach anybody some Arabic words, but I failed miserably. But yeah, main two languages are Russian and English. Over.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Naraz. What would you like to do when you retire from being an astronaut? Over.
Thank you, Raz. Walaikum salam. It is a very interesting question. Honestly, I have no plan yet, but I have something in mind. I would like to continue studying. Hopefully, I would like to do astrophysics as a subject to study in the future. But as of now, I don't have a specific plan. Over.
Hi, my name is Nathan. Have you seen any debris in space? If so, what was it like?
Thank you, Nathan. Honestly, I didn't see any sort of debris because it is really fast. The station flies almost 27,000 kilometers per hour. But I did see some satellites, especially before sunrise and after sunset. And this is something actually you can see from the ground as well. So I did see satellites, but I didn't see any debris. Over.
Hi, my name is Will. What happens if you get sick in space, and how would you take care of yourself? Over.
Thanks for the question. So honestly, it's really rare to get sick in space for two reasons. So when we select astronauts, we select the best possible shape and physical shape in terms of the overall health. So the astronauts arrive on board the station, they're normally healthy. Plus, we spend like 2 weeks of quarantine before flying to space to guarantee that nobody arrives to station if he's sick. On top of that, we have a full pharmacy and we have full support from the ground. We have doctors from the ground that can support in case of an emergency or in case of an injury that might happen on board the station. Over.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Jasmine, and my question is, do you have time to pursue any hobbies while at the ISS? Over.
Alaikum salam, Jasmine. Indeed, I think I love photography now because we have large cameras and we can see like different views every second because we orbit the globe around like 90 minutes. We can circle the whole Earth, and we do this almost 16 times a day. So we can see a lot of things, forests, mountains, ocean, you name it. So I'd like to share these photographies as well when I come back on Earth. So yes, photography is my hobby now.
Hi, my name is Matthew.
We race glass cars in STEM Scouts. They're basically pilot derby cars with CO2 cartridges as engines attached to them. How would that work with the ISS? Over.
I didn't copy your last. Can you repeat the question? Over.
That's good. The question was that we raced glass cars in STEM Scouts this year. These are basically Pinewood Derby cars with a carbon dioxide cartridge or engine attached to them. How would that work aboard the ISS? Over.
Very interesting question, actually. I think it will work just fine here. It will float definitely, but you need to steer those cars with different thrusters. So it might go into one direction, but you need to brake. You need another thruster from the opposite side. And this is the concept, actually, when we fly spacecraft. We have multiple thrusters that can steer the vehicle into different directions. But I think if you have one thruster, it might just go in one direction. Over.
Hi, my name is Jonathan, and how do you stay in touch with your family and friends while on missions? Over.
Thank you, Jonathan. We do have a lot of facilities to stay in touch with our beloved ones. So we have access to emails, we have satellite phones, we have video calls as well. And ham radio, this is just what we're doing right now. So we have all the facilities to stay in touch with the ground. Over.
Over.
Matthew, your
I didn't
question
copy
never
your
got
last.
to you.
Can you
Broke
repeat the
up.
question, please? Over.
The question was,
My name is Matthew.
Matthew, stand by.
Do you see more stars?
The question from Matthew is, do you see more stars from the space station than looking at them from Earth? Over.
Very interesting question. So honestly, the good thing about being in space, we can see stars without atmospheric distortion. Plus, we don't see any blockage because we don't have clouds here. So we do see bright stars, but in terms of distance, it's not a big distance actually. We can see as much as we can see from Earth. Over.
Hi, my name is Lizzie, and my question is, what are the long-term impacts to an astronaut's health by living on the ISS? Over.
Very interesting question, and I think two main things. So physical impact, which is the loss of bone density and the loss of body mass as well. So we do have countermeasures to do better return, which is exercising for almost 2.5 hours every day, so to maintain the body mass and the bone density. And also we have the psychological impact, which is feeling away from family and feeling away from friends. It's also impactful, and that's why we have to stay in touch with everybody on the ground as much as we can. Over.
Hi, my name's Ayla, and my question is, what does a day in the life of an astronaut look like? Over.
Thank you for the question, Ayla. So we wake up almost 6:30 in the morning, and then we start our day at 7:30, and we have a daily conference with the ground stations, and then we start work for almost 3 to 4 hours up until noon. When we have our midday, we get together with the rest of the crew and we have a midday meal, and then we continue working up until 7:30, and then we have a debrief at the end of the day, and then in the evening we have just free time to do whatever we like, having dinner with friends, and then probably call the family. And we do have weekends also in Saturdays and Sundays. Over.
Hi, my name is Ryan. What are some of the science experiments you have worked on while at the ISS? Over.
Thank you, Ryan. So one of the most interesting science experiments I've run is applying some medication to some heart tissues. And believe it or not, I saw the heart tissue beating before my eyes, and it was really interesting to see that. And this is really for the sake of better health services on the ground and better health overall for humanity. And it's really, really important to conduct science in space. Over.
30 seconds to loss.
Hi, my name is Sultan. Do you get regular time off while aboard the ISS? And what do you do during your time off? Over.
Very interesting question. So today is Friday. Within an hour we'll finish our working day, and then we'll get together and have dinner. The 7 crew members will get together and have dinner, and then we might watch a movie. And this is what we do during the weekends. Over.
Okay, we have a loss in this moment. Okay, Sultan Al-Neyadi. Ciao, ciao from Italy. Thank you.
Gracias, and thank you so much. Arrivederci.
Okay, over and out.
Okay, everyone. Well, we got 13 questions in out of the 15. That's excellent. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have shared a moment of history. Amateur radio station IK1SLD in Casal Monferrato, Italy, operated by Claudio. IK1SLD contacted Sultan Al-Neyadi Ki-5 VTV aboard the International Space Station, talking with scouts at Camp William B. Snyder in Haymarket, Virginia. Congratulations to the scouts at Camp Snyder. Now, for the international volunteer team of ARISS, including the radio amateur satellite corporations around the world, the American Radio Relay League, CSA, ESA, JAXA, NASA, and Roscosmos. This is Charlie.
So we now are off the, oh good, so I don't have to talk on this thing. I can talk on here.
Uh,
My name is Mike Ivan. I'm the local camp that helped Camp Snyder arrange this activity. We started 6 months ago with the coordinators, and it was a very good conversation we had both with the folks up here. I hope today you appreciate the folks in space. And so we thank you very much for your participation. What we're going to do is we're going to, on your behalf, send to the space station a postcard. It was something like this that says, we would like you to return a postcard to me. And we have all of your addresses. And so since we have all your addresses, we'll be mailing these postcards. And sometime in the next 3, 4, 5 weeks, you'll get a card from the International Space Station folks saying thank you. And of course, we thank a lot to Trish and the whole Camp Snyder team to make this happen today.
And to Claudio and Charlie.
yeah, let us finish out a second here, if you're hearing me okay. Yeah, let me close it down here in a second. So once again, this is Charlie Sfana, amateur radio operator, AJ9N, saying my greetings to you in amateur radio terms, 73s, best wishes, and I'm also an Eagle Scout, so 73s. Are we happy having fun yet?
'73 to you, and our best greetings from Italy, from all the crew in the Telebridge station.
Thanks, Claudio.
Ciao, Charlie. Ciao, Trisha.
Ciao, everybody. Okay, Trisha, I'm going to go ahead and, unless you all have questions and stuff, I'm going to go ahead and sign out of here. I'll be sending you a couple other things of monkey business to clean up with for paperwork, and as already explained there a little bit, go ahead for the QSL cards. I'll send that information once again. And I don't know when all your people are leaving, so that's something you might want to jump on as soon as you can, I guess.
I think we'll want the ISS postcards. I think we'll make it happen.
And make sure you get 1 or 2 or 3 for the camp itself and yours and all your crew there that are helping out. So.
We will. Thank you for all your help to both you and Claudio and your whole team.
And thanks to the guys that were sticking around with us on the Zoom call that were remote. And Matt, sorry I had to cut you off there, but for some reason your audio was not coming through. So I jumped in and got your question through for you. Hope you're okay with the answer. So, all right. 73 is all.
73. Are we out?
Well, alive.
Okay, good.